Hi everyone, it's Hella here, and today I'm doing something a little different on my channel, which is a review. I don't usually do reviews, but I feel like this could be a really good opportunity to showcase a little bit of my skill and also to help you guys figure out whether this program is for you. First of all, a little bit about me. I am an animation graduate and I do work in the animation industry. I have worked for things like the National Trust and the BBC. I love animation. It's one of my favorite things to do. I personally have been really eagerly awaiting this program, mainly because of its ease of use and the fact that I can use it on the go. So it is called Procreate Dreams. It is currently on the App Store for £20. I believe it is $20 as well, and I think it's €20. So it's all in the 20 range, which is a little strange for me considering exchange rate, but I suppose 20 or 19.99 is a lot easier than mixing prices because of the conversion. Now, I bought it today on the 22nd of November, the day that it came out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if it lives up to the hype that it's been putting out onto its social media. Obviously, it is the animation equivalent of Procreate, which is an app that we all love and know. I personally absolutely adore the app. I love its ease of use, the fact that it's beginner friendly, and I love the fact that I can use it on the go. So the iPad is a brilliant way to kind of bridge that gap between digital and traditional, because I don't have to run around with a sketchbook and 100 pens. I can just use my iPad, if that makes sense. I really enjoy how much that you can do with Procreate. It is limited by the amount of layers that you can have, and it's limited by a size. There is some cons and there is some pros to Procreate. So I really want to see what Procreate Dreams has in store for us. Me personally, as an animator, I'm really excited about a new app that is only £20, considering that Adobe is £50 a month, and that is for all of the Adobe package obviously, but it includes Adobe Animate, which is one that I personally use, and Toon Boom, which can go up to about £90 a month. That's a lot of money for an animation program. So if you can get a lifetime price which is just £20 and that is it, that is a fantastic deal, and I'm hoping that it does live up to its expectations, and I hope that with future updates it will continue getting better. So without further ado, let's look into this app. Here you can see I've got the app open. We've got two selections. We've got on my iPad or iCloud. Obviously I'm going to go on to on my iPad. Not much here. So I'm going to press the plus and we're going to see what we can do. So first of all, it says create new movie and it has some options for us. I'm going to start from the top because why not? So first of all, we got 4K social, we've got 4K square, we've got 4K screen size, we've got 4K widescreen, and we've got 4K ultra wide. Here, if you go into social and click 4K, you can actually pick between 720, HD, 2K or 4K, which I think is really interesting. So obviously social is for Instagram, Reels, it's for YouTube Shorts and for TikTok. Then we got the square, which is mostly used for Instagram. We've got screen size, which when I looked at it, I wasn't quite sure where this screen size came from. I presume maybe it's useful for Vimeo. I've never actually used these resolutions before in my life. Then we got widescreen, which is typically your normal screen. Usually use it in YouTube, in movies sometimes. It's a popular format for film, like it says here. And then we got ultra wide screen, which is mostly for cinematics and things like cinemas and whatnot. So we're just going to go with widescreen. I'm just going to keep it in 4K because it's the one that everybody knows and love. You mostly use it for YouTube anyway, so I'm going to use that. Why not? I'm going to go on to empty, and we've got a new Procreate Dream canvas that has opened up. Below here, we have the timeline. Not much to say about it. I'm actually going to add a track just so then we've got something here, because then you can move it around. So we got the seconds up here, and I believe if you look very closely just here, I'm going to zoom in on it, you can see the frames. So I got 5, 9, 13, 17, and then it kind of dribbles off. First of all, the layout is kind of simple. I think it might be a bit too simple for me, like that's just my opinion. I've worked with programs such as Toon Boom and Adobe Animate, so I'm very used to that kind of layout and I'm used to that interface. I'm going to add a little video. Something very simple. I'm not sure which one, and just see how the videos work. I'm just going to use this one, why not? So I can move these things around. Does it work? Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, it works. So you can add videos to this. Very nice, very nice. You can zoom in. I believe it has all the frames that I've put in there. Yeah, it does. Okay, that's cool. So I've got this track here, and if I move around, I seem to have 2 tracks for some reason. Oh, okay, if you hold, you can look at the cut, copy, duplicate, paste, show all, hide all, or delete tracks. So I'm going to just delete that one and just have this one. You can add your own videos, so you can add references, which is really, really useful in animation. I always love to use references. They can help you improve your animation and also improve your motion. Most animation programs should come with video importing, but some of them can be a bit of a pain. We're going to get rid of this because we don't need this, and I am going to add a drawing layer. Okay. Can I add a drawing layer? Can't play on a video track. Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. So if I add a track, can I draw on it now? Okay, so you have to add a track in order to draw on it. So that was a video track then. Interesting. It works just like Procreate. So you can draw on it. Nice, very nice. Up here, you've got your color chart. You've also got your history and your vibrant colors here. You can also change from a disk to classic to harmony to values and to your palettes. So you can have your palettes here. Can I import palettes from Procreate? No, that would be a really interesting concept if you could actually import your brushes and palettes from Procreate. I'm just going to keep it on the disk. And I'm going to do a turquoise because that is my favorite color. So here we've got all the brushes. We've got sketching, inking. It's exactly the same as the ones on Procreate. I do think that would be an interesting idea if you could import brushes and colors from your Procreate so you can use the 2 programs together. But this being brand new, I think we can let it off. We've got the smudge tool, just like in Procreate. We've got the eraser tool as well. Again, just like Procreate. And then there's the layer option, but nothing's selected. So I'm just going to do a ball. Oh, you've got your brush sizes and brush opacity on the left-hand side. I usually have mine on the right, so this is a bit strange. Can I do this with it? Okay, so that's interesting. That is very interesting. So I can't hold it to create a full circle. That's kind of disappointing. I thought that maybe we could have done that. So instead, I'm just going to do a simple ball. Try and do a simple ball. So I've got my iPad resting up, so I can't quite draw a circle because it's not leaning on my desk at the moment. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so I can't use my pencil. I don't know if you can hear me tapping it, but nothing is happening. So I can't use my eraser tool on my pencil. Maybe it's a setting in my iPad. I'm not gonna use that as like, that is definitely something to be aware of. The other thing that I really don't like about this at the moment is this. I don't know how to bring it back. Do I just, oh, okay. I don't like that I can't just have it down a little, like here. It pops it out, if that makes sense. So I can either have it really tiny where I can't see anything, or have it too big that I can't actually draw on the screen. Maybe I'll get used to it. I don't want to be that person. So how can I add a frame? Let's wait there for just a moment. I am going to reload with the drawing layer in mind because I feel like that one helped me a lot more. Okay, and we're back. So I've just opened up the drawing one. This has made it a lot easier. It actually does have frames now, and you can add these frames. Before, for some reason, it wouldn't let me do it, unless I was just being stupid and I couldn't see it. We are going to do a nice little circle. As I said, you can't hold it either, which is a kind of a pain. I would have expected it to be very similar to Procreate, that you can hold and make a perfect circle, but it doesn't work. We've got our little ball here, so I'm going to add a frame. And this is an issue that we can't see where the onion skinning is, but I luckily know where it is. So you go into this here, so this in the corner. You click this, and then it can show onion skin, which is what we want. So we want to see our onion skin. And you can also edit the onion skin as well. So I usually like mine at quite a low opacity. I don't know why, I just like it that way. And you can also choose how many frames, but you're very limited to how many frames that you can have. You can only have 8 frames onion skinning. I mean, for very simple animations, it would be okay. I'm certainly not one to have loads of frames. Now we had that. I want to see if we can actually copy and paste. I can modify. It's not really copying. Let's see. So copy. Oh, we can get rid of that now. I said that's really annoying that I can't actually use my pencil. As I said, maybe it is something in the settings. Couldn't see anything in the settings, so I just don't think it's working at the moment. Maybe it's something that they'll come in with an update. I want to paste this now. So paste? No? I think this is what really annoyed me, is that I can't like select something and then copy and paste it. So I'm just gonna draw a really crude bouncing ball. Why? Because it is basically the fundamentals of all animation, and I don't care if it's messy, because honestly I'm not here to make it look perfect. I'm just here to kind of review this, and the best way to review something is a bouncing ball model. Now for some reason I've still got something in the edge of my screen here. You can see here that my little cursor over here is all the way at the top. Yeah, but the thing is that I can't like copy, or I can't select something and get rid of it, which I think is really irritating. It's not nice. I definitely don't like it. So I wonder whether instead of drawing this, we can delete this content and duplicate this and then just move it. Just do it simply. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so I'm making it bigger, but I don't really want to do that either. Okay, so that's just, oh, I see. Okay, so it's moving it as a tween. Okay, so you can tween something. That is interesting. Oh, okay, I see. So this is tweening. So you can tween something. Interesting. So you can tween something with this. That's quite cool. I like that idea. 2 fingers still makes you go back, but the thing is I can't see any backspace. So that is something to be aware of. And for some reason I can't add another drawing. Okay, I see. So you click on the frame itself. Interesting. And then we're just gonna do some more bouncing ball models, because, you know, I'm a sucker for punishment. Back from just doodling out a really crude bouncing ball. I really didn't want to spend too much time on this because I just wanted to see how I can use this program. I just wanted to see whether or not it lives up to its expectations, and honestly it was quite fun. It was simple. It was just like Procreate in some ways, but in other ways it's kind of not hitting that mark for me. I think if I could use a selection tool, that would be brilliant. I also think that the pencil should be working. I'm not sure whether it's just my pencil. If other people have that problem as well, then it's definitely an issue with the program, and it's not picking up the Apple Pencil's double tap. Double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. It might not be a problem for other people who don't have the Gen 2, but for me, I kind of rely on that to be able just to tap and then draw and erase. But if you don't need that, then that's fair enough. So I'm just going to go through some pros and cons. So obviously I am very well aware that this is a brand new program and there is going to be issues, so I'm not going to rate it too harshly. For me, the pro is definitely the ease of use. It is very easy to use. You've got these really big frames here and you can just pick them. You can also like drag them to make them bigger. So if I want to make this frame bigger, I can duplicate it as well. I think you can only drag it if there's a space. Yeah, okay, but you can drag it and make room for a longer frame. so you can have it going over 2 frames rather than just the 1 frame, which is really useful, really easy, similar to how you would do it in Toon Boom and Adobe Animate. It's really crude looking. It looks like it's bouncing forward. Anyway, that's another point here. I think that it's maybe a bit too simple for my liking. I wish that it would be a little bit more like Adobe Animate, a little bit more that you can see the different tracks, maybe even like being able to name the track here rather than having just the minuses. The other interesting thing I saw is when I was playing it is that if you go closer, you only play to the end of where your screen ends. So if I have it all the way up here, it will go to the end of my frame, but if I zoom in really close, it will only do what's showing on screen. So that's quite interesting. Usually you have that in Toon Boom as well, that you select a certain amount of frames and you can see only them being played. It's quite a useful technique if you just want to focus on a certain movement rather than the whole thing. So if I just wanted to focus on the ball going down, I can. Or if I want to focus on the whole thing, I can. So it's really, really quite easy. The other thing that I like about it is that it is very similar to Procreate. I can also add layers as well, just like you would in Procreate. So here, if I wanted to make the ball, I don't know why the ball was yellow. Did I delete said ball? No, I didn't. So here, if I wanted to, okay, I see, I've turned off the layer. So if I wanted to add maybe a color layer. Oh no, this is not good. I can't move my layer. I can only rename it. I can't drag and drop it. Let me try with a pencil. No. Okay, so that is an issue. And I can't really do much with these layers. So I can do like the normal thing, so I can multiply it. I can add all of the different settings like color dodge, etc. So we're going to keep it on normal. But the thing is that you only have renaming clear. It'd be really useful if they had the reference like you do on Procreate. So then you can just drag and drop into the color. And this is also a problem. So I want to color in my little circle and I can't seem to color it in. I can only use this, which is, oh no, I can. Okay, never mind. So I can fill it. You have to do it quite slow. But the only problem is that if I want to use it, I have to be really, really gentle with it or else it will just run off. Okay, no, never mind. I do take that back. It is working fine. I think it might just be my pencil. So I can use the fill tool. I've also noticed it's really poorly pixelated and I'm using the brush that I usually use, which is the technical pen, which usually is okay. It is very, very blurry. And I can assure you that 4K is usually not this blurry. I work in 4K quite a bit. We can fill, we can use layers, but the layers are very limited in terms of like, I can't move my layers. I can't really do much except that I can have more than one layer. So I guess you could have a sketch layer and then a line layer, but you can't have a color layer because you can't move that layer underneath the line layer. So you'd have to already do all your layers before you start drawing, which is really infuriating. Another pro for me is definitely the price. £20 for an animation program is incredible, considering that Adobe is £50 a month for Adobe Animate, but that is the entirety of the Adobe suite. So I presume that you would get the feeling that you get a lot of bang for your buck, as they say. Toon Boom is anywhere from £30 to £90 a month, which is extortionate for an animation program, but it is industry standard. I'm not sure about other programs, but I will put them underneath. Obviously, FlipaClip is free, but it is very limited of what it can do. I know that there's other programs that are very limited. Clip Studio Paint is another one where you pay, I think it's £50 a year for the Clip Studio license, but that's another program that is really good for animation. It's limited in some ways, but it's very similar to Adobe Animate and Toon Boom. So the price is definitely a big pro for me. I think that the layout and the interface is really simple. It's very beginner friendly. It's very similar to Procreate in some ways that you can easily move from Procreate to Procreate Dreams. There is options of adding video and photographs or images into your Procreate Dreams file. You can also add text and files as well as different tracks to layer your tracks like you would in a normal animation, whereas Procreate you couldn't do that. I really hate having to do cons because I do really enjoy this program. However, However, there are a lot of flaws that I think could be worked out later on when they start updating it, when they start looking into different reviews. The one big thing for me is the fact that my pencil does not to erase. I hate that. I use it all the time in normal Procreate, so not being able to do it on this Procreate really threw me, and it's having to get used to just clicking on the erase tool at the top of the screen. The other thing is there is no select tool. Where is the select tool, Procreate? Where is the select tool? I can't select my image without having to go into the tweening option, and I don't want to tween all the time. I would like to just do frame to frame animation. I don't want to tween. So it's really limited. If it's in the wrong place, there is nothing that you can do about that unless you tween it over of some way. Maybe there's a way around it. This is a really quick review, so I haven't really had time to look into it more. But the fact that I can't just select an area and move it does really irritate me, because I, for one, especially on Adobe Animate and Toon Boom, usually select areas and slightly move the head or slightly move an arm or something if it's in the wrong place. So it's really useful to have that tool, but we're not given it here. The other thing is that we're not given a backspace or a forward space when it comes to Control Z, as we all know. Instead, you can just double tap the screen and it will take you back like it does in normal Procreate. However, I don't see where it is on the screen, so then I can't go forward. So if I've made a mistake and I go back and think, actually, no, it was okay, I can't go forward. So that is an issue. The other thing is the layer system. I don't understand how they think that this layer system was a good idea. I love the idea of having a layer system within the frame. I think that's awesome. I wish that more programs would do that. However, I wish that I could move my layers around so then I can have my color layer underneath my line layer. Or else I have to set up the entire animation with that in mind, with having a line layer, a color layer, and then a sketch layer. I think the other thing is that we are too heavily referencing Procreate. So we are comparing this to the normal Procreate, which is a problem because we're so used to things happening in Procreate that when we go onto this program, it completely throws us. Like the layers not having a reference layer, so you can't just have a color layer and then reference the line layer, which makes it really easy. I love that in Procreate. That's one of my favorite parts of Procreate. And unfortunately, I can't do that in Procreate Dreams. That is definitely something that could be worked on. Is it worth £20? Yes, I think it is worth £20. Is it a good beginner product? I think it's a brilliant beginner product. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I probably would recommend it. However, there is issues that I think need to be resolved, such as the select tool, the layer problem, the referencing option that we have with Procreate could be implemented, and I think it needs a lot more to the interface in terms of I really want to see a backspace and a forward space. I want to see a select tool, and I also want to see the layers being able to do more rather than just delete and that's it. I don't even think there's a copy, is there? No, there's just rename or clear. So I can't even copy my layer if I wanted to. Even holding it or doing anything, maybe hold and drag, I can't do anything with it. The layers are a good idea in theory, but in practice, they're very limited. So would I say that this is a good program? Yes, I probably would. I definitely enjoyed using it. I can definitely see me using it on the go if I wanted to do a simple GIF. I would definitely recommend it for things like emojis and emotes for Discord or Twitch. They would be really, really good in this program. However, I think longer animations could be a problem. So for me, I'm going to say that this was a really good program and I really enjoyed using it. However, there are some flaws that need to be worked out. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and maybe leave a comment of something else that I could review, like Flipperclip or different programs that also feature animation, and I will give you my honest review. For this, I'm going to play around with it a little bit more and we'll see if there is more to it. But for now, at a first glance, I generally did like it, but it is flawed. It is flawed. So I hope you guys have a brilliant day and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da!